Okay, so whatever we had revised, I'm just drawing from that portion. So typically the structure of human eye is this, and then we have the cornea. Okay, and from the cornea we will have something which is known as your iris, and the iris opens up to create what is known as your pupil. Okay, when the iris is open, the pupil is created, right? And the size of the pupil can be controlled. So this is my cornea, and this is my iris. This is my iris, and this is the pupil from where the light ray will be entering the eye. All right. After this, what we learned was that there are a special class of muscles which are known as ciliary muscles. So you have your ciliary muscles out here, and you also have your ciliary muscles out here. And from the ciliary muscles, we have got something which is known as suspensory ligaments. So those suspensory ligaments will be in this manner, and there will be suspensory ligaments. And here is the most important part of your eye, the eye lens. Okay, and this is the most crucial thing. This is the eye lens. The eye lens is gelatinous in structure. It's not like a lens that you see in your everyday life. It's gelatinous. So this is known as my ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles. And these are known as my suspensory ligaments. I don't know how much of this is needed for your grade, but for your interest, I'm doing it. And this is your eye lens, right? Then what happens is that we have got this portion. Okay, so these are your optic nerves, which will be actually traveling to your brains. Okay, these are your optic nerves, and everyone has something round about here which is also known as your blind spot. Okay, this is known as your blind spot, and this part is known as the retina of the eye. Now let's understand each part of the eye and its function. Right, now what I have drawn is only the white portion. Yes, your wish. Okay, so we have the white bulging portion of my eye. I have just drawn that part. Okay, the white portion that you see. So this is the white portion which is known as the cornea. The cornea is your initial outer layer. So whatever damage first happens on the cornea. After that, we have got our mechanism. So iris is actually a mechanism, and iris is also a biometric measure. Everyone's iris is different, and based on that, your colors will be also different of your pupil. Black, somebody will be hazel, somebody would be blue, brown. So the iris opens, and the iris is going to create the opening for the light to enter. And the iris can automatically adjust depending upon which type of environment you are in. So if you are in a bright environment, it's already lit. You don't want that much of light. So at that time, the iris will reduce the size of the pupil, because eye does not need that much of light. And if you are in dark environment or dim environment where you need more light to enter, because our ability to see something clearly is based on light. So if you can actually see, if you're writing on a piece of paper and I have a mechanism in which I can dim the lights of this room, slowly if I start dimming the lights, you will be no more able to see. So how clear you see is based on how much of light is entering. So our brains immediately send a signal to the iris that, hey man, iris, you start opening up because I'm not able to see. So that's one of the reasons when a person enters a dark theater, he initially is unable to see because he came from an outside environment, okay, where the light was sufficient, and so his eyes, his pupil are not that far open, but his iris is not that much open, so his pupil size is very less. As soon as he enters the movie theater, it's all dark, and now the brain is demanding that I need more light, but the iris will take some time to open. That some time is actually causing you difficulty to walk in the theater. But slowly as the iris opens up, you again start laughing at someone who came after you, that look, he is unable to walk. You are also in the same scenario. Similarly, when the movie is over and you try to get out of the movie theater, then you are coming out from a dark environment, so your pupil is very big, and as soon as you come out, there is plenty of light outside, so your eyes, you immediately, what you do, you shrink your eyes, because your brain is saying, I don't need that much of light. iris reduce the pupil size, but it will take some time to reduce. So have we understood? Yes.
What is the eye? Like the word.
Ciliary muscles, these were taught and written in last class also. Okay. So whatever new I have written is only retina, blind spot and optic nerves. Rest everything I had written last class. Even I have not written the aqueous and vitreous humor. Okay. Now, yeah. So so have we understood the function of the iris? The iris's job is to control the size of the pupil. In another way, you will get 1 mark, 2 mark objective type questions, and you have to say the iris's main job is to control how much light enters, and this will help you in your ability to see things. Is this correct? Let's now come to the eye lens. Okay, let's discuss a bit about the eye lens. Now, some terms you will not understand, but still you can see. The lens of a camera is a lens which is a fixed lens. I mean, so whatever properties of this lens are, those are all fixed. Typically in lens we have got properties like what is the focal length of the lens, what is the focus of the lens. So the camera lens is fixed, like these lenses are fixed, but still we apply, there is a little bit of automation in this, that it can auto adjust, but the structure of the lens cannot change. Whereas God has gifted us with an eye lens which is gelatinous. So what we can do, we have the ability to control the curvature of the lens. The lens can become bulgy, the lens can become slender. So these shapes of the lens can be changed in the human eye, which in your best cameras also we can't do. And this is done by the suspensory ligaments. So if you stretch the ligaments, the lens becomes slender. Have you understood? And if you relax the ligaments, then what happens to the lens? The lens will become bulgier. So in order to understand that, what we say, if you are actually relaxing, now this mechanism you understand in grade 10, if you relax the muscle means this green one pulls up and this green one goes down. They are in relaxed condition, relaxed we say. At that case, when they are relaxed, what happens to the blue one? The blue one is stretched. Are you understanding? This one goes up, the blue gets stretched. So we call that as the relaxed position. And then we have something more called the stretch position or the stressed one, in which these will expand. So these ciliary muscles have a very good property which is known as they are highly flexible. They are highly flexible to your demand for vision. So these muscles, like the human eye is so beautiful piece of an organ that if you take a camera and you want to focus on say D tower or some C tower from now, you have to start adjusting the zoom. But in your human eye, you want to see somebody far away, you can see. You want to see something close, so quick your adjustment is there, right? That is what we study and call as accommodation. O-A-C-C-O-M-D-A-T-I. Not double M. Accommodation. Again, in 10th also you'll study accommodation of the eye. So what do you mean by accommodation of the eye? The ability. So let's define this. This is an ability. The ability of human eye to focus on objects far off and close by simultaneously. This is called accommodation. What is so? Is a human eye very accommodative? Yes, is very accommodative. Accommodation. What do we say? Kindly accommodate your friend. Accommodative person is one who can keep everyone's request. So the human eye can keep your request. You want to see something far off, it allows you to see. You want to see something close by, and that too simultaneously. At the same time, I can see his face, I can see that far off also. A camera gets fooled in that case. And I told you the example. If you focus on the bowler, then the crowd becomes blurred. If you focus on the crowd, then the batsman starts becoming blurred. So the camera cannot do that so fast as the human eye can do. So we learned one more thing, which is known as accommodation of the eye. Accommodation of the eye means ability of the eye to see something far off and something close by simultaneously. And how do you see it? You see it, this accommodation, okay? This accommodation is actually done by controlling controlling the lens curvature. Have you understood? Controlling the lens curvature. So if you go further, who is responsible for this? The ciliary muscles. That is how you understand. The ciliary muscles, flexibility, muscles, flexibility. Now we will learn about this. That means if your ciliary muscles are not flexible, your eye cannot accommodate something as quickly as you want. Have you understood the story? Accommodation means your ability to see something far off and something close by simultaneously. How do you do that? You do that by changing the curvature of your lens. You make it bulge whenever you want, you make it slender. Who is controlling this bulging? The ciliary muscle is controlling. What property of the ciliary muscle? The flexibility of the ciliary muscles. So this flexibility, now we will see, will get lost at some time of your life. Okay. So this flexibility is what is important for the eye to make accommodative. So have we understood this part? Ciliary muscles, and the ciliary muscles control it through the suspensory ligament. खींचेगा छोटा करेगा, ठीक है? इसके लिए ciliary muscles have to be very, very flexible and agile. If they become stiff, then your ability to see something simultaneously, you also lose that ability. So now comes on that another discussion here comes up, that when you say far off and when you say close by, okay, far off and close by. So in this we have another thing which we say that every human eye has something called the far point, and every human eye has something which is known as the near point. Okay, what is far point and what is near point? So let's say this is a human being. So there will be a point here. Sorry. For any human being, there will be one particular point. Let's say this, which is his near point, and there will be one point which is his far point. Try to understand, okay? If you don't, do ask me. Every human being has something called a near point and has something called a far point. What do you understand by near point? The closest distance to which you can see something distinct and clear, beyond which vision will blur and you will have immediate headache. You can try that if you want. You take that octane part and try to read it close, very close. Immediately, you understood? You'll get a headache. So the closest distance, the last distance at which you can see something very clearly is known as your near point at comfort. Okay. For a normal person, this near point is 25 centimeters. That's why whenever you go for an eye test, finally they will ask you, hold the book at an arm's length and try to read. 25 centimeters, 100 centimeters is 1 meter, 50 centimeters is half, 25 is quarter. This is 25 centimeters. It is usually beyond 25 centimeters, the human being cannot see something distinct and clear. Have we understood? This is a normal eye. A normal eye's near point is always 25 centimeter. And the far point, God says, and everyone says, the far point is infinity. But infinity we can't measure. How far you can see? As far as possible. This is a normal human beings. Till the horizon. Yes, right word. Till the horizon. Like in earlier days, you know, when people, feudal people, landlords, they used to get their son married or get newly married with the wife. Then they have to show their wealth, right? So they used to take them to the newly married wives to the farmlands, and just to say to the wife, till the place that you can see, all land belongs to us. Means till your far point, whatever land you are able to see. So far point means infinity. This is normal, but there will be abnormal cases also. That is what we are going to study now. So anyone says that, yeah, we'll see those. Anyone tells you what is your near point? My near point is 25 centimeters. What's your far point? Infinity. That's true for you, me, everyone. Okay. When you go to grade 12, if you are interested, then this near point is called, this near point is also known as LDDV. This is optical language. We call it least distance of distinct vision. Least distance of distinct vision. Sabse kam distance, least distance. What is the least distance of your distance? 25 centimeters. Yeah, this is called LDDV, least distance of distinct vision. Means beyond this, if you come closer to your eye, You will be able to see, but the distinct word will be lost. Have you understood what is distinct? Sometimes have you seen when we focus our camera, then you put your hand once, twice, fool the camera, otherwise blurring happens. Suppose you're trying to take a selfie video shot of your own and you just switch on your mobile camera, and at that time your face is not coming clear. So what do? You put your hand 1 or 2 times in front of, if your camera is good with AI enabled and all, so that the focus comes up. Similarly, LDDV. Have we understood what is LDDV? Now I'll be changing my screen. Okay, fine. Let's talk about, now this is all about human eye. I think I have covered everything. So everyone, children, you know cornea, the white outer portion. Pupil is the opening created by the iris. The iris is also one of your biometric measure, and the iris controls the pupil opening. The pupil opening indirectly controls how much light is entering your eyes, right? When the room is lit badly, we want more light, the pupil size has to increase. When the room is sufficiently lit, at that time we don't want the pupil to be that large enough. We have understood that. Okay, ciliary muscles are very special class of muscles whose flexibility in turn controls the curvature of the lens, and this in turn helps the lens to accommodate our vision, because the human eye has got the ability to see something far off and close by at the same time, simultaneously, clearly. That is done by controlling the bulging of this. We call controlling the curvature. And who controls? The ciliary muscle control, right? Similarly, this, we have another place here known as the blind spot. A blind spot, now let's come to this side. The blind spot is a spot where no image is formed. Every one of us has a blind spot. So before understanding the blind spot, we should understand what is retina. Retina is like the screen of the eye, screen of eye, and in retina images are formed. In retina images are formed. In the retina there is a particular spot called the blind spot where no image is formed. Have you understood? So the retina is like the screen of the eye, and the screen of the eye is the place where the image is formed. It is analogous to the film. It is analogous to the camera's film. Means in our days, the cameras that we have nowadays, you don't have film in cameras. Have we understood retina, bacha? Clear? And after the image is formed, right, where we say image, actually what happens, this image has to be processed. The eye is a convex lens. So okay, the lens, we should also tell you, this lens is a convex lens, and the images that are formed are actually inverted images. The brain again corrects it. See, so much of intelligence is built in. Okay, the brain corrects the images. The original image that your eye will form is always the inverted image, and those are taken as electrical signals by the optic nerve and processed in your brain. The brain is like the CPU of your body. Even all sensory organs, how many sensory organs we have? 5, right? What are those? The skin, the eye,
Yes.
the ears, the tongue, then nose. So those, anything that you hear, audible, auditory nerves. In science, this girl must have studied those auditory canal and the cochlea and everything. They take it where? To the brain. So the brain processes, and then it will process simultaneously something you hear and something you see. Based on that, you will actually have to give a response. Like you have seen a lot of ice and you're hearing a lot of wind, immediately your skin starts shivering. So fast the brain processes. It's such a fast computer. Okay, so is retina clear? Retina is like the screen where the image is formed. Blind spot is a portion where no image is formed, and optic nerves are the nerves which carry the images in the form of electrical signals to the brain, and the brain will process, and that is when you finally see the image. Okay, everything happens in a flash. Okay, this portion of the eye is filled with what you call liquid, and that liquid is known as aqueous humor. मैं एक मिनट गलत लिख दिया. हाँ, I think aqueous humor is this side. Okay, before the lens, this is not required at grade 8 level, just for your understanding. Aqueous, AQUEOUS, aqueous humor, हंसी मजाक, aqueous humor. And this side also there is water, that is called vitreous humor, but this is not required at your grade 8 level, just for your knowledge. Aqueous humor, vitreous humor. Basically this part is the tears. that you cry and all, okay? And the eye should continuously be lubricated. Remember, actually, there are two small holes at this portion of our eye. I don't know whether you've seen or not. Just like on a rainy day, like you pull the wiper lever and that water comes up. These two holes are also continuously purging water into your eyes. That's why if you stay in places which are more of construction, like where you have been born and brought up, where there's so much of cement dust and all that goes on, your eyes start losing their hydration. And once eyes start losing their hydration, then add your lifestyle, which is a lot of content watching, TV watching, Blu-rays. You can't escape from that, whether it is studies or everything. Today, we can't escape from all those Blu-rays which are emitted, plus dry eyes. They will start causing you irritation and they will start damaging you. I'll give you just a just a thumbs up experiment, where example, which is very, or an example. In our school days, like if we wish to ask, there has to be, like in the whole grade, in 2-3 grades, there would be one spectacle child. Are you understanding? So we used to call the, oh, Chashmish. His name used to be Battery Wala. We used to call him, he's a battery boy. Battery means he's Chashmish. Today, if you go, average, all are spectacled. So are you seeing what has been the nature? That means either you are having by birth diseases, or you are staying in an environment which are provoking those diseases, whether they are television gluing, mobile content gluing, whatever it is. It's not that if you watch TV, you can't avoid it. Tomorrow you'll study, you'll need a computer. So your eyes need to be a very, very hydrated. And I'm just saying, you can discuss with your parents and all every time. If the eyes are not hydrated, they will cause irritation. The irritation in the manner of itch will be there, pain will be there. You will not feel, you will not be on 100%. There is, I tell this to every kid actually, at your level also, and somebody who is more habituated to traveling in opens like bikes and all. There is a very good eye drop available, and it is spelt with eye tone. It's an Ayurvedic eye drop. It's available in MedPlus also. If you ride bikes and all, eye tone should be a part of your life. This is not medicine. This is actually tulsi water and all other good things. Just put 2 drops after you come back from outside or before you go to bed. They will retain your eyes. Whether you are a child or whether you are height, you have eye dryness is a very common disease. Second, going and it's green in color. You can just Google it. It will be a green bottle, green packet with a black thing, and I use it. Okay. Then even going for swimming pools and all, you've got so much of dust ingress and all. So eye rashes happen. This is a common problem with all children now. Even you have it, maybe you don't know about it. That's the only thing. We all have it. Okay. So keep your eyes hydrated. Never splash water at very high speed on your eyes, but you should. And in between, if you cry once or twice, it's a very healthy practice. Crying is good. Crying lubricates your entire eyes. Instead of eye tone, if you go into hospitals, they will prescribe you, as I told you, some more costly medicines like Tears Natural. I told you there's an eye drop available called Tears Natural. This much eye drop, its cost will be around 297, 300. It's nothing. It's just filled with tears, sodium chloride. So you're supposed to keep them hydrated. Eyes are to be hydrated. So you can practice with eye tone. That's good. Okay. So, and there is no side effect. It's an Ayurvedic medicine. It's available here also. Close your eyes and you can put. Don't write on hand. You write on copies. Right. Have we understood this part? So aqueous humor is also tears, the ones that come out. Vitreous humor is the fluid. This entire thing is in a fluid base. Otherwise, your eye will become dry. And there are 2 pores. So that grade 8 level, this is sufficient. Let's now talk a little bit more about some defects of vision. Defects of vision. Okay. We start our defects of vision discussing from the retina. Now, what was the retina? The retina was like the screen where the image is formed. This nice little part of the eye has got some cells of 2 different types. There is one type of cell which is known as rods and one type of cell which is known as cones. Cones are the cells which are like cone shaped. Rods are like kalajam, rod shaped. Okay. Rods and cones are 2 types of cells. Now, when you see the word, now how children get confused on it. Cone starts with the letter C. Cone starts with the letter C, and cone is therefore responsible for your sensitivity to colors. Colors. Your ability to distinguish different colors is based on the ability. We'll come to that color based on your ability of cones. If you are deficient in cones, now these are very sad stories. If you are deficient in cones, no, color blindness is extreme case, then you will not have the ability to distinguish between colors. We'll come to that, okay? And when we come to rods, rods is your ability to see in low light visibility. So we'll discuss one by one. Low light visibility. So let's first come to our discussion about cones. Now, cones are directly related to your ability to distinguish colors. Now, what I'll say will actually throw you out of your chair now in 1 minute, okay? Just imagine. Eyes are an organ where you cannot say what the other person is seeing. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I am seeing this some grade of blue, his t-shirt. I don't know what you are seeing. Maybe in childhood we were shown a color called blue. You are also responding to that blue, and so you are saying light blue, you are saying light blue. How much light between you and me? Is there any machine? No machine. Therefore, eye diseases are the disease which are picked up at a very later stage for any child. Can the child hear? You can say, yes, the child can hear, baby. Can the child see? That also you can understand. If you bring your hand to, he will put his hand like that. That means he can see. Can he distinguish colors? Now, I'll tell you some examples. When we were kids, our sketch pen packets came with only 12 colors, right? There also, our mom and dad, they were not exposed to so many sketch pens, so they didn't understand what is light green and deep green, light blue, deep blue, pink, right? Now, if you see a Faber-Castell sketch pen, so many, peppy red, tangy red, then pinky red, so many type of reds. Okay, now the question arises, what I am seeing, I may not be the right person. Am I seeing how he is seeing? We don't know. Is he seeing how you are seeing? We don't know. Because what you are seeing, I don't know. You are saying, yeah, kitna green hai, so green. What is the amount of green you are watching? So there are very child educators who start these things at a very early age, like giving a child a red balloon and then immediately bringing a blue balloon to the child. Does the child respond to the, see, children are highly distracted. They will not like to be with one color for a long time. The moment he sees something different, he loses interest on this one and he takes the other one. Some children does not show a knack for the next balloon. Why? Because the child is not finding the other two balloons different. That is first level where you are finding that there is color blindness. Color blindness means it is not child cannot see. Color blind is an inability for a child to distinguish basic primary colors. What are those basic primary colors? And green, red, RGB, we call it, okay? RGB, or another is CMY, cyan, magenta, yellow. If a child, these two are called basic colors. From these three colors, you can make any color. If a child is unable to distinguish between these three colors, like if the child is in kindergarten, first year, second year, we start making him play games, odd man out. So we will give him 2 red balls or 3 red balls and give him 1 blue ball. Pick up the odd one. If the child is not picking up, that means usko sab color ek lag raha hai. But there is no test to understand. Unless and until you do experimental test, you cannot find out what is his color blindness. This is number one. Okay. Second, visibility. How do I know that my child is viewing something clearly? So everything comes with what? Complaint. In children, the first complaint will come in PTM, that the teacher will say, kindly get his or her eyes checked because she seems to come up every time near to the board and copy whatever I'm writing. Child is unable to see that thing sitting at the bench. Usually you're supposed to see it. Another way we test is, when you see a cricket match, it will write India 124 for 4. Can you distinguish that 124? Nowadays, you should do tests. When you're traveling in car, you should be able to see whether you can read the number plate of the car ahead of you. These are few tests you should do. And then you should ask somebody that what is the number plate of that car. If that person is able to say and you are struggling, time for you to go to a check. Because an eye check will, eye vision loss does not, or poor vision does not give any pain to your body. We know our friend Abhigya cannot see till there. But when she goes a little bit, she's comfortable. She thinks that is what is life all about. But actually life is such that you should be able to see from here. She has not yet understood that. Are you understanding? So eyes, you don't go to a doctor when you have problem. Eyes and teeth are for periodic checkup. And nowadays they have many tools. They will give you some sensitivity test. They will give you one switch in your hand, make the room dark and show you many stars. Every time you see a star, you're supposed to click. Then the result will come out that actually 40 stars were shown and you did 70 clicks. 30 extra clicks you have done thinking that you saw so many stars. Yeah, all these tests comes out. Then somebody will say somebody's reaction time is less. You're supposed to click. It's not that you have to do it very fast, but there are positions like driving at night. Whenever a street light comes up, he sees it like Christ cross jaisa dikh jata hai. So all these problems happen. So have you understood cones? Cones are the ability to distinguish between colors. Are we clear on this? Okay. Now, if a child has less of cones, the child will not be able to distinguish between colors. So a deficiency in cones, if you have a deficiency in cones, it directly will lead to something called color blindness. Okay, color blindness. Now, so if you see an owl, ullu, owl, owls are not blessed with many cones. Owls are blessed extremely with rods. An owl can see in extreme darkness. We cannot see that. Yeah, so the cone strength is very high. Basically, night vision is having more of cones. More of rods. The more of rods you have. So have you understood deficiency of the eagle and others have lots of cones. That's the reason an eagle from a very big height can actually spot that fish, come down, pick the fish and take it up with it. So eagles are blessed with lots of cones in them. Okay. Now when we come to rods, rods are for low light visibility. So the rods will tell you at how much less light you can you are able to see. Now this is usually not, it's not equal. It's like optimum count is there. It's not possible that you'll see in extreme darkness, but say suppose a child is able to see something. Now my kitchen light is subdued right now, but still some child is able to make out something somebody is not able to see in that dark. An old man won't be able to find out a biscuit container in that. So that means the rod content is less, right? This used to be a disease. These are directly controlled by a vitamin called vitamin A. That's why they say eat more of carrots. In 70s and all, in the years 70s to 80s, India used to suffer a lot with night vision. Night vision problems means children are unable to see in dark. And remember when we were kids, in television, government say those ads used to come. ये सोनू है, दिन में अच्छे से देखता है, रात को देख नहीं पाता है. And ads used to come. अपने बच्चे को आहार में vitamins खिलाइए, गाजर, पालक. So carrots are very good for this purpose, right?
So for example, I see a light for like a long time, I'll stare at it, close my eyes, I can still see.
I can see. We'll come to that also. Okay. So are rods and cones clear? Rods help you in. Rods will determine at how much poor light you are able to view things. An owl has high number of rods. Eagles have high numbers of cones. Okay. So a balance of both is required in a human eye in order to see things properly. And these things you should check. No one knows how you are seeing something. Always remember that in mind. There is no machine. You have opened your eyes the day you came to earth and you gained senses and you started to understand this is apple, this is this. So your belief is this apple is this much red. It is not guaranteed. Is this the actual red? Am I seeing better than others? Am I seeing less than others? Because at the same time, you don't get to have another vision of it. If we could have fitted one sensor in his eyes and showed you, this is how he is seeing, this is how you are seeing, then you could have said, I'm seeing better or I'm seeing less. But that is not there now. That's why get your eyes checked. Okay, is this one understood? These two understood. Our next defect of vision are, the first one, we call it myopia. Myopia, okay, means very easy to remember. Just listen what I'm telling you. Nearsightedness. Nearsightedness. Okay, that means if you are a person, and these are actually known as disease, these are disease actually, not defect also. This is an eye disease. If you are a person, you are nearsighted means able to see near and not far away objects. So if you are in the student or the child community, then if you see somebody with specs, 99% of them are myopic. All you in my room are all myopic. Myopic means nearsightedness. Near you can sight, but you cannot see sight far off. If you want to understand a little bit from grade 10 perspective, then it is something like this. For a myopic person, his near point has no issues, but his far point, the far point should be what? Infinity. This is how we write infinity, just like that directly. The directly variation, direct variation, we close it. His far point has actually come near. This is his far point. That's why he can't see far off things. Let's say Mishka. Mishka is myopic. All these are negative power. You are myopic. All of you are negative power. Negative means you all are all myopic. Myopic is the disease that happens at this age. Now here, try to see from your side. You will be able to read a book, but not the blackboard. This is your problem. You can't read the blackboard sitting from where you are. You can read a book, right? This is known as myopia. Now, certain things in children we start observing. When a child is sitting beside you, just ask questions. Can you read what is scrolling on the TV? That's the way you actually take the child for eye checkup. So in myopia is always corrected by, I don't know, in grade 8 they will not ask you, is corrected by wearing concave lens. And these people will always have negative power. Now, myopia starts from say 0.25, minus 0.25, minus 5 and all. If you keep wearing your specs, there is every chances that this can be arrested. Not wearing the specs is the biggest crime a person is doing. If you don't wear the specs, if you wear it, but if you are too badly hit, suppose let's say Vakul's power is more than 6, he's at 6.5 now, that we cannot arrest, even if he wears also. But a 0.25, a 0.5, 1.5, all these can be managed. If you are good, your correction can happen. But it's a disease. ये आपके साथ by birth होके आया है और ये चलेगा धीरे धीरे. Now getting managed is getting difficult because the lifestyle is also bad. Therefore, resting of your eyes are very important. The more you rest your eyes, the more your eyes will be actually feeling comfortable. Therefore, those eye tones, cooling your eyes, reducing the amount of glare that you see. And if you are too much with television or computers, if you're more into video gaming, then it's very, very essential you should get anti-glare glasses. Anti-glare glasses are the glasses that are available. These are zero. They don't have any power, but they have Blu-ray reduction. In fact, for Yadu, what happened? You are sleeping. Oh, storage is so nice, right? So you should wear anti-glare glasses are available. You should purchase anti-glare glasses if you're more into computer gaming and all, right? So have you understood myopia? 99% children will have myopia. Take the pen and write. I'm writing so many things you're hearing. I also keep saying this is not needed for grade 8. This is grade 10 stuff. If you love science, then you should note that one with more interest. LDDV, he has said, okay, this is something new I've heard. Huh? No, whatever it is, he was sleeping. I've seen him. My eyes go all side. Okay. The next type of disease that we have is known as hypermetropia. 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 Hypermetropia means farsightedness. Farsightedness. Farsightedness means that you can, if you are a person, you can see far off things, but not close by. Not close by things. So from grade 8, 10 perspective, your problem here is you can see far off things. So your far point is okay. Your near point has got an issue. Your near point has gone a little bit ahead. That's why, how will you see? You're supposed to see at 25 centimeters, na? The hypermetropic guy will see like this. Ah, kya hai? Dikhao, dikhao. Aise. His near point has got shifted. Have you understood? His near point has got shifted. So hypermetropic persons will be corrected by convex lens. Now at school level, this is very rare. But if you hunt your school, there will be at least 1 or 2 children who are hypermetropic, and you can look at them and you can find the specs will be very, their eyes will be big in thing, and the specs will be very thick. Convex lenses are very thick. In concave, like these are concave, right? Concave makes images smaller. If you put it on the book image will be smaller. But if you are wearing convex, then if you put it, the size will become bigger. So in those cases, when you wear a specs, your eyes to me will seem smaller. So you're wearing what? Concave. And if the eyes, you will see one bacha, very, very enlightened child, very good in mathematics. No, nobody has convex here. Nobody has convex. He cannot have convex. Convex you can straight away look at. No, not that. Take the specs and put it on the book. It will not become big. It will be small. If you are -4, you are concave. So in convex, what happens? Your eyes, your frames will not be like this. You can't have so lightweight frames for convex. Convex are usually in glass. What we are wearing is all fibers. These are not glasses. So these are
Small.
either you can take the class. So no, put it that will scratch my table. Yeah. So the thing is, when you wear those specs, they will be usually in glass. Those lenses will be in glass. They'll be heavy. So you will find those, transparent type frames, and you can distinguish the child 1 in 100 and 500. Looking at the child, you'll say he's a convex hair. Very rare. In titanium, we had one kid earlier. Now he's passed off 12 and he's much more, 7-8 years back. Usually they are very sharp in studies. So that child is suffering from what is known as hypermetropia. Hypermetropia means the child will be able to see far off things. He can see TV very nicely. He can see boards very nicely, but he cannot read the book. At that time, he needs lenses. So his near point has actually gone off. Understood? Now comes one very interesting disease. Okay? That disease is known as, I don't know it's in your book or not, but let's study. That's called presbyopia. No. This is more interesting. Listen to it. Myopia and hypermetropia are diseases with which you are born. You're born. Then you'll say, no, sir, I got my specs only when I was in class 4. Because you realize that you are an idiot in class 4. If the test was done from nursery, we could have found that you were optically idiot from nursery onwards. Okay, that's why I said, toothache, it will pain you, mommy, you will cry. But in eyes, you won't see because we don't know how you are seeing. Now, presbyopia is something interesting, and this is triggered by something called. Here is where I told you, the ciliary muscles will come later in course. Ciliary muscles. Understood? Now, let's take our friend Abhigya. This is Abhigya, okay? Right now, she is in grade 8. So, she must be into her 13th or 14th year of life, okay? And she is suffering from myopia. Agreed? Let's take her time scale and bring Abhigya here now, okay? So, now our Abhigya is something from 37 upwards. 37 upwards. It is not with Abhigya. I've just drawn her because she right now has myopia also. So this is Abhigya. It is 37 up. As she goes 37 up, her ciliary muscles now start becoming stiff. Stiff means ciliary muscles were known for their flexibility. Very soft paneer. Now these paneers have become very stiff. So if it is stiff, the problem this girl will now start having is accommodation. Her eyelids cannot become slender and curved very quickly, right? And this will happen to one and all. Everybody will suffer from this. 37 onwards, I never had specs from my childhood. From the time I've seen my dad, he's no more. I've seen him specs. I've seen my mom's specs, sister specs. I never had specs till engineering. When I came in Pebble City also, I never had specs when I teach. I do a lot of these electronic soldering and all. So that damage, usually this happens from 40, 39, 40. I got infected from 35 onwards. So what is your first symptom? Anything you read, you will find puking because your near point has now gone far off. So presbyopia is just similar to hypermetropia. Okay, presbyopia is hypermetropia. You can otherwise say it is a hypermetropia condition after 37 years of age. Hypermetropia is a disease. This is something God will gift you. Even Jacqueline will also have hypermetropia. Okay, everyone will have presbyopia. So you start becoming presbyopic. So right now, the category where your moms will enter, maybe your dads have already got into, your moms will become, anyone who has crossed 40 is hypermetropic. So how the symptoms are? Whenever you show your report card to your mother or father, she'll say, get my specs. Usually I don't need specs because it's hypermetropia. Driving a car, do I need specs? No. But reading the speedometer? So, hey, can you sign these checks? You'll see in movie. They'll immediately open. Some people will have specs there. They'll say, can you read this SMS? Okay, Nimishu. You'll just pick up. That is presbyopic. And to adjust presbyopia, because you need it only to see, so you'll see some principals and some Munimjis keeping the specs like this. This is called a reading lens. I'm seeing you without an issue, but when I need to read, I read it from here. Have you understood? This is called presbyopic. This is only for reading. Because every time you can't wear it, so people keep it like this. Yeah, do go in the morning or बच्चे के लिए ना आप टिफिन बना के रखना कौन सा है 45, 46, so they will do this. Have you understood? This is called presbyopia. Now, our friend is carrying myopia from childhood, right? So she will be gifted. Everyone will be gifted. I got gifted with presbyopia. She is coming with some ancestral property also. So this is hypermetropia. Presbyopia is hypermetropia. So what specs we will give her? We will give her convex. Convex. Concave is what she's wearing. She's wearing concave now already. Okay. So we're going to give her what? Convex. So when you give her convex, so let's make her specs. So this is her lovely little specs. Lens cart air. So this is her convex. Now the problem is our girl cannot toggle between two glasses. Kabhi ye pehno, kabhi ye pehno. So what do we do? So we have to now do it. Now, initially when we were kids and we used to see our parents, many of your grandparents you'll see, we call it bifocal, and her lens will become like this. Okay. This is called bifocal. This part, now this part is for reading, right? So this part will be convex and this part is concave. Now this is called bifocal, right? So I also got what was called when I became presbyopic, I was given convex. But you can't wear convex and do daily jobs because then everything looks big. But every time you can't keep on opening and wearing. So when you have little bit more money in your pocket, you become more aristocratic. So we move into some new kind of lens, which is known as progressive. Okay, progressive lens. These are the latest ones that we use. So if you are presbyopic, when you will become in 37, and suppose you were not like Abhigya, normal to presbyopic, your this portion will be convex, and slowly as you go up, it will be a normal lens. This portion will be convex, and this will be adjusted very gradually, and they are so comfortable. That means you need not take it out. Are you understanding? Otherwise, every time to read, I have to put my convex. So the lens is convex to normal. And they will say, when you buy lenses on Lenskart and all, they say, please use it for 14 days before returning, because you need time to adjust. You need time to adjust, because suddenly you will see stairs big, little bit from up, but slowly it gets adjusted. It's super comfortable. However, person like me, I got infected with myopia later stage of my life. I have got mild myopia also. Now I have two problems. I need concave also, I need convex. So I'm just like Abhigya now. So in Abhigya's case, now that the lenses that nowadays nobody goes for these are actually cheaper. So nowadays that the lens we wear or the specs that we have, these are progressive, where this portion will be convex and slowly this portion will be concave, but there won't be any demarcation. You don't, like my lens is double. Now how do you test it? If you use the top part of my lens, you will see the letters smaller. If you take the bottom part, the letters become bigger. Slowly adjusted, and for the first 2-3 days it will become a little bit difficult, but after that it is super comfortable. Now the best thing. So once I had to change my specs and I became very cost conscious. So I said, itna kharcha kyun karne ka? From this, I migrated back to this, means from HD TV to SD TV. I said, let me save some money, and I bought bifocal lenses. कौन सा? ये प्रोग्रेसिव है. आजकल सब लोग प्रोग्रेसिव ही पहनते हैं. प्रोग्रेसिव है, प्रोग्रेसिव फाइबर एंड ऑल. दिस इज एंटी क्रैक. ऐसा फेंक तो कुछ नहीं होगा इसको, क्योंकि अभी इसमें उतना डाला हुआ है. The more sugar you add, the more meetha the kheer happens. So these are very costly lenses. These lenses are anti, like there won't be dust, there can't be scratches unless and you sit and break it. It's not, and very lightweight fiber, because I cannot do without specs. I mean, if I'm cooking also I need specs. So I migrated back to this once, okay, and life became horrible. I took my car out right from this lake of Piramcheru. I came back. It just is so difficult to adjust. People who are into this, there are many people I know in people who are into that are comfortable. But from here to here, if you migrate, you can never come back. Because the comfort that you will get here, it is like 4K. Once you have seen that quality image, you'll never like to see 1080 pixel. So this is a cheaper version. These are costly. Now in this we add more sugar. What are the sugars we add? Normal corridor, wide corridor. Wide corridor means the lens will be, see, these are nothing in your course, but they are everyday things that you should learn. Wide corridor means more vision. Because this is progressive, na? More vision. Wide corridor. Yeah. Then you can have cheaper lenses, bifocal lenses, glass ones. Okay. So wide corridor, normal corridor. Then see, you will get anti-glare. Means first you will select your lens. You want progressive? Good. Now let's start adding money to it. Progressive, then wide corridor. Wide corridor gives you more clear vision. Then what we will add? Then we will add something which is called anti-glare. Means anything at night you drive and you are driving an ORR with so many light posts, you won't see any glares forming on here. Like those Jesus Christ formations won't be there. Then what do we add? We add Blu-ray protection. Like this one has got Blu-ray also. Because my job is all in computer. So it will stop all Blu-ray. Then little bit more fashion you want, then we make it photochromic. If you see me morning when I was walking yesterday, you will feel as if I'm walking with sunglasses on. So these glasses, this is not photochromic, the other one is photochromic. So in that we have something called silver iodide. So when you go into the sun, the silver iodide starts spreading into the lens and the lens automatically starts becoming dark. And when I come back to the normal room, it again switches back to normal. Very costly, okay? So the more cost you add, so I believe like this, yes, once upon a time in my childhood I have struggled, But today, life is once only. But yes, I am doing this happiness with my earned money. That's what I want you all to do. Now, drifting away, why I want you to study and do good, you know what is pain of life? Pain of life is when you pick up something at a shop and you keep it back because you can't buy it. So when somebody says, how much money do you want? That much money, that whatever I keep my hands on, that doesn't mean you'll buy a Airbus A340. Okay, that's not that. But if it's a good watch, and if you keep it back, that is very sad. Sad because you are, and at a particular level. I'm not saying that you join your job and you should be able to buy a Rolex watch, not like that. Okay, there's a nice movie ticket, nice shirt. You just see the tag and you have kept it back. That is a pain of life. And life is once only. That's why I said, when I had my age, I could not buy a Royal Enfield. Do you know? Do you know what is Royal Enfield? When I could buy a Royal Enfield, I have lost my age of taking it to Leh Ladakh. Are you getting it? जब खिलौना एक चाहता था तब पैसे नहीं थे. जब पैसे आ गया तब बचपन चला गया. Therefore, study hard, earn by good means, not by evil means, so that you can enjoy your life. Otherwise, it's a big pain. That pain you can't address. That's very painful. So then you have to follow what my dad used to say. Flowchart. Do you like it? There can be two answers. Yes, no. Second question. If no, then closed. Yes. Next question. Can you afford it? Yes, no. No means closed. Yes, buy it. But वहीं पे जाके फट्टू हो जाते हैं ना. Do you like this? Yes, I like that iPhone. Can you buy it? No. ऐसा नहीं होना है, ठीक है ना. और आप लोग इतने अच्छे पढ़ते हो तो study nicely so that tomorrow, if you want to wear the specs, you wear the best of the specs. You want to wear cufflinks, you wear the best of the cufflinks. You want to wear t-shirts and all, because life is once. खुल के जियो अपनी जिंदगी. I believe in that. ठीक है. पर उससे जीने के लिए क्या चाहिए? Do hard work today. Then only you will be able to do. So presbyopia and one more disease next class. Then we don't figure like cataract is also. So presbyopia will happen to everyone. If you see your mom or dad taking a specs and then looking at your report card, say you are presbyopic. And if he or she uses the lens only at that time, that means it's a convex lens. And if you want to use it every time and feel comfortable about it, then you need to go for progressive. And if it's like a Mishka or a Shreyas or a Abhiyan or a Abhigya, you have to go for progressive, because this will remain. Another God will give you at 37 years of age. Interesting? Very good. Okay.